AD, Cat, Jalen Brunson, and the Knicks hope to defend home court and win their fourth in a row. All right, Shay, before I come to you, Perk, I have a personal question because I'm going to this game, and I was really hoping to see both Steph and Jimmy Butler out there. You think Steph plays?
I think he'll give it a shot. Look, Molly, one thing, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Every player in the league knows when they're playing in Madison Square Garden, when the schedule comes out. Every player in the league wants to play in Madison Square Garden. I guarantee you Steph Curry does everything in his power to be out there on the floor tonight, Molly. Hey, look, Molly, I don't know where your seats are. But as the governor of New York, if you need me to make a phone call, you know what I mean?
I know someone who needs you to make a phone call. And he's sitting right next to me. Ocho wants to go to the game.
Perk, let me know now. I'm trying to get the knowledge of my game up. So if you can make that call for me so I can sit courtside, I would change my flight. I'm on Spirit at 5 o'clock, but I can't change that.
I'm sorry, if you're flying Spirit, you can't sit courtside.
No? But you say you can make them calls, but I don't have to pay.
Yeah, I know.
Perk, holla at your boy now. Talk to me, baby.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Perk will work on that. In the meantime, Shay, tell me this. If you have a big game, would you rather have Steph Curry or Jalen Brunson? If you need a big game.
I think it's a lot closer than you think because Jalen's ability to get to the free throw line, to get into the paint. But I still got to take Steph. I mean, after watching, you watched him this year, and especially the Garden. You know he's going to try to put on performance at the Garden. That was his coming out party. Perk, you remember, I don't know how long ago when he had to drop that 54 and he made like 11 threes in the Garden and everybody was going crazy. That was kind of his coming out party. Like, damn, he actually can do what he was doing at Davidson. And he's been phenomenal. I would take Steph because I think he's been in bigger moments. Having watched the Olympics and they needed every shot that he was making in that final game against France. Yeah, I'm going to take Steph. But it's closer to, you know what? Having watched Jalen Brunson the last 2 years, this thing is a lot closer than you think because Jalen Brunson, he's put up some big games with that little body.
Listen, Jalen Brunson is good, huh? You know, he's one to have. You really can't go wrong. But if you're taking somebody, you talk about big games, you're going with Steph. Think about the game of basketball now and how it's played. We got infants, 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, chucking up threes in everything that they do when it comes to basketball. The way the game is played now, it's the way Steph Curry plays the game. If you got somebody you want to have a big game, you go with Steph. Mid-range, 3-point, 30 feet from the logo. It ain't no telling what he's going to give you on a big night when he's hot and he's on fire. You can't go wrong with Steph in this scenario.
Well, Ocho, I was going to make that call for you, but with those comments, you just made me change my mind. I'm going to have to really think about that and consider it. Look, here's the thing. If we're talking about the history and the past, yes, it's Steph Curry. But if we're talking about the now, today, 2025, it's Big Body Bronson. It's the reason the Knicks are relevant again. It's a reason the Knicks were able to go out and get a Karl Anthony Towns is because they have their franchise guy. They have that dude that could take over a fourth quarter and protect their home court in Madison Square Garden against anybody. We have to remember this. Last year, Jalen Brunson was the best player in the Eastern Conference in the regular season. Last year, we saw Jalen Brunson go on the road in Philly and give them 40 pieces when the team needed him the most without his second best player, Julius Randle, at the time. This man takes over games in fourth quarter like no others. If you want the hezzy pull up from the three, he give you that. If you want the finishing in the lane through contact, he's gonna give you that. He picks his spots to get to his mid-range like no other. His pull-up game is off the chain. Here's what I'm telling y'all. Right now, I would have to go with Jalen Brunson today. If we're talking about over the history, yes, I'm going to take Steph Curry. But in 2025, if I need a big game and somebody to close this fourth quarter, give me Big Body Brunson.
Okay.
Did you not just see what he did to the Orlando Magic? Did you not see what he did in Game 7 against Sacramento? Did you not see what he did against Boston Celtics on the road in the Garden? So this notion that Steph Curry still can't give it to you, I will concede this to you, Perk, that is closer than maybe people would think. Because we're talking about Jalen Brunson and we're talking about the historically great and transcendent player in Steph Curry. It's close. It's close. But if you say, okay, Shannon, this is the game for your life, I'm going to take Steph.
Every time.
See, we're not listening
Every time.
today. Molly, we're not listening today. I
Yeah, I
said
know.
if we going over the history, I said I would take Steph.
I'm taking Steph today, tomorrow, Sunday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, my birthday, the 4th of July. Is there any other days you need me to take him?
I'm just saying, you just said it was closer than what people thought. So why are you going against me? Because I said,
Yes, it is. It is.
Big body Brunson.
Oh my goodness.
Everything Perk named about what Brunson can do.
Perk, why
Steph
aren't you
can do
going to
as
the
well.
game? What are you doing?
Well, because
Why aren't you here in New
Molly,
York
first
with
of
us?
all, first of all, I'm on 3 flights a week to LA, right?
Okay,
I don't
that's the
have
problem.
time to actually come to Houston and fly to New York. You know what I mean? It's a busy time of the year for me with the NBA. You know how we
Hey,
get down
Perk.
over here. You know.
Perk, I'm sorry for your loss. All right, speaking of the NBA, let's bring out some money. Let's check out today's first take odds boost, courtesy of our friends at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Chad, let's make you some money so you can get a ticket. It involves tonight's Warriors-Knicks game. To win the bet, we need 25 or more points and 5 or more assists from Steph Curry and Jalen Brunson. If you like these picks, we have it boosted for you right now from plus 250 up to plus 300 at ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
Small part of the story. Big Perk is with us this morning along with Alan Hahn. Perk, what is your reaction to what happened with Kyrie last night and what has happened to the Mavericks here over the last few weeks?
Well, one, we hope that Kyrie Irving is okay, right? Hopefully that it is just a left knee strain. That's number one. Number two, Kyrie Irving is built different. For him to go back to the free throw line, shoot those free throws, while in pain and do that remind us of the Kobe Bryant moment. Now, here's the real, okay? The Dallas Mavericks are done, and they should be done, right? Even if it is a left knee sprain, if I'm the Mavs, it's only a month and a half left in the season. Shut AD down, shut Kyrie Irving down, get them ready for next season. I said this when they made the trade for Anthony Davis and traded away their international superstar in Luka Doncic, that this Dallas Mavericks team has a 3-year window and they have to deliver a championship. We don't know what Derek Lively is going to look like. We don't know when Daniel Gafford is going to come back. They're too banged up and it's not worth it to risk it this season. Get healthy, come back next season, and start off strong with all healthy bodies.
So right now they are in the 10 spot, so the last play-in spot in the West. They have a fairly significant cushion ahead of Phoenix to remain in that spot. They have 20 games remaining. Those things, I guess, would be on one side of the ledger. The other would be that their season has begun to crumble since they made the Luka trade. One would assume if Kyrie is out for any period of time, it will continue to go in that direction.
Yeah, and I agree with Perk, and that's what you have to do. And if you're the Dallas Mavericks, you can't look at this as saving face. It's the absolute worst thing they could do is try to save face and let's just get these guys back in the lineup and play in the play-in and all those things. Perhaps the right thing to do. And again, you got to see the extent of the injury. There's no question about that. After the imaging comes through, you'll get an idea of how long Kyrie Irving will be out. But if it's something significant, the obvious thing to do is tell Anthony Davis, okay, just get yourself right. And Gafford and Lively, we don't know what that group looks like yet. We saw one half of basketball with AD, and it looked really good. They can go into next season feeling good about what they can be at full health. But this season does feel like a loss right now.
And adding to it, I mean, I guess adding insult to injury, if you will, this came on the same day where earlier the Mavericks had informed their ticket holders that they're going to be raising ticket prices for next year in what can only be described as one of the truly tone-deaf moves we have seen in sports in recent memory. Big Perk, very quickly, a reaction to that, Big Perk? I see you nodding along.
Yeah, I mean, look, new ownership, and like my grandma used to say, God bless their heart. They don't know no better, baby. They need some guidance. They need some guidance, man. Seriously, and look, this is a learning experience for a new owner, right? Like they're learning on the fly. Right now, you have a fan base that is still extremely pissed off at the Dallas Mavericks organization right now, and some of them have the right to, especially watching Luka and what he's doing with the Lakers and LeBron James sitting at the number 2 spot, again, the Dallas Mavericks have to regroup, have a coming to Jesus meeting, get all their ducks in a row. But they are on the clock for the next 2 to 3 seasons. They have to deliver a championship. No ifs, ands, buts about it.
No, I'm with you. And look, the true measure of this trade will not be done this season, but it couldn't have started worse.
Oh,
like, if you just look at the way this thing has started, it couldn't have started worse. We'll see if it winds up getting much better.
Yeah. All I can say is remember the curse of the Bambino. When they traded Babe Ruth, they didn't win a World Series for 100 years. You don't want that to be the same story in Dallas.
I mean, let's not exaggerate. It was only 86 years, but I understand.
Sorry.
I understand the point that you're trying to make.
It's not that bad of a wait. You're right.
I understand the point you're trying to make. But one way